though we are in like a fairly rural location and we're surrounded by a lot of public land, you still find that a lot of students don't actually get into the national forest that often.
Well, you know, we live in such a beautiful part of the state and of our country, but some of our little children have not ever been out in the woods, even though this is where we live. I think parents can get so busy with work and just surviving life. So it's been really cool to give them this experience of in the woods.
Sometimes the kids that are not successful in the classroom are very successful when you get them out in the open like this, because it's freer. They're not asked to sit down, they're moving. It's surprising how kids can show you what they know if you don't put constraints on them.
Feel the seeds?
There's all kinds of moments throughout the day when they're down here where they start to kind of realize life where they may not expect it. It's kind of these like subtle, realizations that, oh, wow, like you roll a log over and there's just so much life underneath it. And that's pretty mind-blowing to them.
It's a green grasshopper. I found it.
It's empowering for a lot of the students to start to recognize the tree species that live in their community, the bird species that live in their community, how the San Juan River that flows through downtown is a lifeline to a lot of other communities beyond ours, and our impacts up here affect others downstream. It sparks this conversation around, there's a lot of people out there that need water and a lot of organisms that need water out there, and water is precious. So how do we go about preserve it? What are some actionable items that we can do in our daily lives, in our community, to ensure that folks downstream are gonna have water too? Knowing that we're up against such uncertain terms moving into the future with a lot of environmental stressors, the more that we can get them interested and light that fire when they're young of, wow, we live in a magnificent place. This is worth saving, and this is worth putting my career towards, then I think that hopefully will ensure some, a better future for the world.
People are more willing to take action if they feel a connection to the environment and just fall in love with their natural surroundings. I guess that's been my biggest focus, is trying to instill that excitement and love for the natural world in kids so that they'll be more willing to take action when it's appropriate when they're a little older.
Well, I think it helps them learn to be good conservationists and to help take care of our land. I just think the appreciation of all the wildlife and all the plant life and just seeing it's so big and there's so little, and it's just a great perspective for them.
Maybe a bear.
In order to be successful in conservation, both short-term and long-term, we need to reach every child. So Audubon Rockies, through this program, is really focusing on reaching those underserved communities. Every child deserves the chance. Every child should have the opportunity to advocate for conservation. And that's the only way we're going to have conservation into the future.
Kind of at the root of the work is connecting them to their neighborhoods, their communities, ecological pieces that may change through the year or years, and letting them know that their observations matter and they count and they're important. I think the more that you kind of build folks' ownership in that, the more they're likely to keep an eye on it, protect it, and be interested.